On Times Now, Super Prime Time.
All right, joining us on the NewsHour debate, we have Mr. R. Rajagopalan, senior journalist, Advocate Kapil Madan, Congress supporter, Ashutosh, senior journalist. My first question is to you, Kakori Ghosh, Dastidar, Member of Parliament of the Trinamool Congress. Is the double engine ki sarkar unstoppable?
If it were unstoppable, like you say, the number of seats wouldn't have decreased as it has. But we believe in democracy, and we would like to take this opportunity to congratulate all the candidates who have won. We would like to congratulate the party which is won, and in spite of their win, you have to agree that their number of seats has decreased, and the Samajwadi Party has increased their number of candidates in the assembly to a great extent. Last time they were only 47. They didn't quite understand the malpractices that were unleashed on the thing. In Bengal, the same thing was done. But here, under the leadership of Mamata Banerjee, we fought them tooth and nail. But the stealing of the EVM and all the other electoral malpractices that is done by the Bharatiya Janata Party could not be fought, but they have fought very well.
Well, ma'am, in that case, if EVMs are being stolen, why didn't they steal the EVMs in West Bengal?
We have been keeping vigilant always, and we have fought at every level, in every booth, in every EVM were manned by vigilant workers. But here, they slightly, what I should say is that Akhilesh has fought very well, and Akhilesh Yadavji has done very well, but they didn't quite understand the other nitty-gritties, because if you look at the state of affairs, if you look at Unnao, if you look at Hathras, if you look at the killing of farmers, then this really is not the people's mandate wholly. But even then, in democracy, we congratulate everybody, every candidate who has won and the party which has won.
So I will ask you one more follow-up question before I throw this open. You are saying that it is a vindication of Akhilesh Yadav because BJP seats have gone down and SP seats have gone up?
They have worked very hard, and the people's mandate has shown that there is an anti-incumbency factor working, and there is a dissatisfaction towards the governance of the Bharatiya Janata Party government led by
Yogi Adityanath. So then in that case, ma'am, the seats of BJP increasing in your state would also show that there is an anti-incumbency. Yes, you also did very well, but the BJP seats increased in West Bengal. What applies to Samajwadi Party in UP would apply to BJP in West Bengal.
Political parties definitely take the opportunities to go to the people, reach out to the people, and it is the people's mandate, which should be respected. Okay. So in whichever case it is, people's mandate should be respected.
Okay, Amit Malviya of the BJP is also joining us now. Amit Malviya, it's too soon to crow about a victory. Your seats have gone down. So to say that BJP is an unstoppable bulldozer is an overstatement. That's what's being said of you.
Well, we've never claimed that we're a bulldozer. We believe that we're here to serve the people. And the last time around we had 3/4 majority. This time we have 2/3 majority. I think it was phenomenal by any stretch of imagination. No party has repeated its government in the last 37 years. And no chief minister has completed his full term and returned for another. So this election in many ways is unprecedented. The same thing applies to Uttarakhand, where the BJP has come back to power, and it's again a state that would alternate power between two parties. So those who do not wish to see this huge success and the underpinning of what it takes to win consecutive mandates in these states can ignore it at their own peril. But Padmaja, the fact is that this government, the BJP as a party, has redefined political axis on which now governance will be carried forward. It has redefined the way delivery is being done. It has redefined politics in some sense, that it is now more substantive, it is more focused, issue-based, and it is no more about identity and fractured caste calculations, which was the norm in yesteryears. It is a much progressive, forward-looking politics that the BJP has brought to this country.
Kapil Madan, the writing is on the saffron wall.
So I would like to respond, Padmaja ji. I'll make two quick points here. You mentioned that Modi and Yogi are unstoppable. I will just share with your viewers a very quick data. BJP has lost 12 major elections since 2014. I'll start with Delhi to 2015, 2020, West Bengal in 2016, 2021, Punjab in 2017, Karnataka in 2018, Rajasthan in 2018, Chhattisgarh in 2018, Madhya Pradesh in 2018, Jharkhand in 2019, Maharashtra 2019, Tamil Nadu in 2021. So that's point number one. If you say that they are unstoppable, they should have won these elections also. My second point is that when you say Modi and Yogi are unstoppable, I would just, as of now, say that they are master of disguise. How they were able to overshadow the real issue in Uttar Pradesh, the real issues of that the Uttar Pradesh was struggling on the education front.
How do you think they overshadowed it?
Of course, yes, because in so far as health is concerned, Uttar Pradesh is the worst performing state in terms of education.
So how did they overshadow it?
So that because they've still won. They've still won.
But what did they do? Are they magicians?
So, no,
is the voter blind?
No, yes,
I mean, since you have so perceptively seen what the shortcomings are, why didn't the voter?
Padmaja ji, you have to give it to them that they were able to disguise and they were able to overshadow the real issues. Those were brushed under the carpet. If you see the opposition campaign was very focused. They picked up the real issue. They never made communal
what issues
statements.
Did the BJP pick up to overshadow your
that's
real
perhaps
issues?
So let us see the issues on which the people have not voted. People have not voted on the rising unemployment. People have not voted on the rising inflation. People have not voted on the rising petrol prices. People have not voted on the the pathetic state of the health infrastructure.
Because people are either foolish or they are sadists that they like to torture themselves. They say I will be berozgar, I will not have health facilities, but I'll keep voting for the BJP.
Padmaja ji, that's precisely the point of concern, that despite opposition raising serious issues against the government, they were not able to communicate that well, and the message or the campaign of the opposition could not resonate with the people.
So quickly tell us, what did you do? What trickery, what magic was it that you blinded people to the obvious crashing failure that you are?
Look, Padmaja, again, the problem is that people see issues as they like to see them. They don't see them as people see them. You have to read the electorate, and electorate always votes on what it had earlier and what it has got now. Clearly, there has been a perceptible shift from 2017 to 2022, and that is what the people have voted for. And this is the problem, this is a mistake that most analysts and commentators do. They go and impose their own worldview on the electorate and expect the electorate to behave in a way that they see the world. The truth is that today, Uttar Pradesh is a much safer place for women, for example. Law and order has been fixed. You have delivery, you have poor getting ration, you have toilets being built, you have Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana working, you have PM Kisan working. Just to give you an example, the opposition and a section of the media had built the entire Western UP narrative around farmers without realizing that that farmer is also a father whose daughter is today safe, without realizing that the farmer is getting 6,000 rupees every year for the last several years, and therefore he's likely to vote for the BJP. They did not imagine that the farmer has got his sugarcane arrears and is likely to vote for the BJP. So people look at elections in binaries, but elections are not about binaries. They're about multiple issues that work at the same time, and the BJP has managed to deliver for everyone.
And before you respond to that, Kakori Ghosh Dasidar, let me show you actually a data point from today's results. There are two areas where the BJP was supposed to suffer the most. One because of the Kisan agitation in Western UP. The second in Eastern UP because of defections that happened and the perceived anger among the OBC. The BJP has actually gained 4% vote share in both of these areas. What explains it? Other than a jaundiced view.
You're asking that to me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now you see, first of all, under the section 123 subsection 3, asking for votes, taking the guise of religion or caste is punishable. But the Election Commission didn't take notice of this when in Uttar Pradesh votes were asked in the name of religion and caste. The lower caste people and the Dalits, they were actually threatened. And the release of, one of the examples, the release of this murderer, the Ajay Teni's son in Lakhimpur Kheri, just on the eve of the poll, who went about, threatening the poor voters over there. That is also.
Ma'am, when did he threaten? Can I just stop you for a second? You're saying that he went and threatened voters, Ashish Mishra. Can you quote examples of when that happened?
I have been to Lakhimpur Kheri.
Yes.
Possibly I'm the first person who reached there.
That is true. But I'm just trying to figure out from where do you have this detail about Ashish Mishra threatening voters on being released on bail?
Why was he released on the eve of the poll? Just to get the
Because ma'am, the court gave bail and the court order actually said that there is nothing to substantiate that he was responsible for the death of the people. The court gave him bail.
We don't want to go into that now, but he has done it. We've seen it. I have been there. I have been to Lakhimpur Kheri. And the fear psychosis in the minds of the marginal section of the society, particularly amongst the Dalits, is tremendous. You have to just visit the villages.
And yet, ma'am, I'm so glad you mentioned it. And yet, let me now show you a vote block. Do you know that a large chunk of the BJP seats in Uttar Pradesh are coming from Dalit-dominated seats? Jat-dominated seats, Dalit-dominated seats. Today, the Dalit vote has transferred from the BSP to the BJP.
Huge amount of money has exchanged hands. Election Commission was silent.
So, ma'am, are you just a second? Are you saying it's because of the people asking for votes in the name of religion, or is it because they are bribing Dalits? I'm a little confused.
Every bit of it. Every bit of it.
Okay, so all of it. Ashish Mishra was threatening also. He was bribing also. And in addition to that, he was saying, I'm a Hindu, so give me a vote. So all of this put together.
They've done all of it.
They've done all of it. Mr. Rajagopalan.
Madam Dasidar is a very good parliamentarian, and I love to hear her parliament speech on the surrogatory bill. She spoke excellent, but today she failed because she is unable to substantiate whatever she is saying. It's a court order, madam. He was not released. If you are so concerned, you should have participated in the court proceedings. You should have implemented with that. Apart from that, now the topic we are discussing from the main topic, Yogi, Modi, Juggernaut. My understanding is tomorrow, that is Friday morning in Ahmedabad, RSS is going to meet for 2 days conference. They are going to discuss about the future of BJP in southern states. Apart from that, having won such a massive victory, I am also hearing from reliable sources that UP will be split into 2 or 3. These are all certain projections they are going to have. They plan for 10 years or 20 years. As Madam Nirmala Sitharaman in her budget said, Amrit Kal, it is going to be another 25 years they are going to be in the system. They are not going to run away because 8 top leaders have been identified at number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. Unlike Trinamool Congress or DMK or YSR Congress, the Narendra Modi point was he finished Congress as Congress Mukt Bharat. Now he has taken on the family politics, Parivarvad. That is why Parivarvad, Uttar Pradesh lost Parivarvad because of Modi's aggressive campaign.
It is going to work.
It is going to work. That is why in Parliament 2 speeches, Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha, Prime Minister emphasized on Parivarvad because from Kanyakumari to
but coming to the
Kashmir,
point, you're talking about how this is going to be the winning formula. Kapil Madan is saying that they have lost a dozen elections.
They won in 2019. Why has he forgotten Kapil Madan?
No, but
they won in 2019.
At the center, Mr. Modi wins, but in states, while there have been spectacular successes,
they lost.
There have also been losses.
They lost, but where is the opposition? They lost. Where is the opposition to take the word of Madam Mamta Banerjee? Where is UPA? Rahul Gandhi travels abroad every now and then. There is opposition. That is why Modi is winning.
No, just a second. This was supposed to be about Yogi Modi formula.
Therefore,
this has become about about a Rahul bashing session.
Therefore, coming to the point, there is no opposition. That is why Modi is winning.
Oh, so that is a little
there is no opposition. There is opposition in India. You tell me.
So just a second.
Even in 2021, when the migrant problem was there, Modi solved it. In 2022, the students' problem, Ukraine, 15,000 crore rupees were spent for 128 flights from up and down from Ukraine, and he brought all the students.
Okay,
that's a major thing.
So you're saying there are policy decisions that have led to this win, because earlier you seemed to suggest that just because Congress is inactive, that the BJP is getting a walkover.
That's what Mamata Banerjee said. I did not say.
All right, you are not saying that, Mr. Ashutosh. Can you ignore? You can say everything. You can speak about Ashish Mishra. You can say about Brahmin vote. You can speak about money exchanging hands. The fact is that on the ground, when you speak to the voters, somewhere in Gorakhpur Sadar, there will be one man who will say, "आपने देखा मोदी जी को पुतिन ने कॉल किया और कैसे सारे इंडियंस वापस आ गए." So there are these measures where the janta is thinking, here is a duo or here is a man who's getting things done. And it's not changed for the last 7 years.
Padmaja, you have to give me some time. I just want to lighten the whole discussion because it was getting very, very serious. What I feel today that the Bharatiya Janata Party is like the West Indies of 1970s and 80s, which is a formidable team. India was also a very good team. It had a world-class bowler, but it was not. If you compare with West Indies in that point of time, you realize that today they had a Vivian Richards. They had a fearsome four bowlers. India had great spinners but didn't have the pace bowlers. India had a great Sunil Gavaskar but didn't have his supporting opener. So I think today the political parties have to realize the fact that the BJP is winning. It's not that the West Indies did not lose in 1983 World Cup. They did lose. They did lose to New Zealand and other teams also. But in totality, if you look at, I think BJP today is a very formidable team. They have galaxy of top leaders. Their messaging is right when it comes to, they have a solid organizational muscle power, they have got resources, they got the cadre, they have got an ideology which appeals to a large section of the people. If you put together, look at Akhilesh Yadav.
So are they unstoppable? Are they unstoppable at present? With all of these wonderful features that you have listed?
Padmaja, I can't hear you.
Are they unstoppable at this point with all of these attributes that you've listed?
In the context of UP, yes, because Modi and Yogi is unstoppable in UP. At least this assembly election shows that.
And but nationally,
will you apply the same in Uttarakhand? Because Yogi is not in Uttarakhand, Yogi is not in Goa, Yogi is not in Manipur. Still they won. So that means BJP must be doing something right.
So that's what we're asking you. What is the BJP doing right? And if indeed the BJP is like the West Indies, who is going to be the Kapil Dev to their Viv Richards?
I think they are where
Congress का Kapil किधर है? एक कपिल मदान तो हमारे स्टूडियो में है, but उनका कपिल देव कौन है?
But Punjab, you realize that in 2018. The Congress party won Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh. It's like Kapil Dev team won in 1983 World Cup. Something like that. They lost Jharkhand also. But if you compare Bharatiya Janata Party in totality with the Congress and opposition parties, you realize that they are doing something right. On an average, they are winning elections.
All right. Success. Amit Malviya has won over many cynics as well. Quickly respond to Ashutosh, and I think Kakori Ghosh Dasidar wants to come in again.
Oh, I was just waiting for Ashutosh to spin a snake in his otherwise flowery narrative. But I think he's just too overwhelmed today by the results, which is not so bad. I mean, he can speak his heart out once in a while and be truthful to himself. But Padmaja, the fact really is that the BJP today is a much expansive organization in the sense that it has organization, it has the ideological clarity, it has leadership, it has vision, it has articulation, and it has got leaders who are willing to work extremely hard. We are working 24/7, 365 days a year. And we are moving on from one election to another because we see it as a mission. It is not about forming governments or it is not about getting in power. We are, the states that we are in, we are not seen as exploitative. We are seen as people who are delivering and changing lives. And I think that is a big fundamental shift that the BJP's governance model understands.
Fair enough, but there will always be Kakori Ghosh Dasidar who will stand up and say, yes, you are all that, but we still defeated you.
No, well, look, The truth of the matter is that in Bengal, the BJP was never a force to reckon with. Today, we have 38% vote share in Bengal. We have 18 MPs. We have 77 MLAs. We have close to 70 corporators. So really, in the last 5 years, we've grown from a party that had 2% vote share to 38% vote share. So Kakori Ghosh can feel good about having defeated us in Bengal, but next time when the elections happen in Bengal, they will be routed.
All right, a bulldozer is headed your way, Kakori Ghosh.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to come in with, is that we should not be using the term unstoppable. Because Trinamool Congress under leadership of Mamata Banerjee stopped them in 2021.
But Amit Malviya is saying, wait and watch, he's saying.
All the super leaders came in flights every day and addressed thousands of rallies. But at the end of the day, it was Mamata Banerjee who was sworn in as the third-time Chief Minister of West Bengal. And we are, of course, waiting to see what happens in the future. The people of Bengal have trust in us. They have trust in the good governance of Trinamool Congress led by Mamata Banerjee.
Okay, that's seems like a challenge is set for you, Amit Malviya. Quick rebuttal, then Kapil Madan.
We are up for it. And I promised Kakori Ghosh that she should watch out for her own Lok Sabha seat in the 2024 elections. She might not be able to win.
All right.
I will win with a great margin. I will win with a great margin.
We will see.
You please come.
Madam Ghosh.
You contest against me. I welcome you. You contest against me.
I don't need to contest. Somebody from my party from Bengal will decimate you and your party. Don't worry. Everybody has a shelf life, and so does CMC. And Mamata Banerjee already has a nephew snapping on her heels. Before we come and take you off power, maybe he might do that to Mamata Banerjee. So you should worry about the in-house coup that you're probably likely to face.
Why you have been routed in Goa? You went with a big fanfare. Wherever Goa was there, only Mamata Banerjee banner was there. Where is that today?
We were there only for 3 months. We had just entered into the scene. We are still with the people. And only for 3 months, we tried to reach out to the people.
Why decimated? Why routed?
For 3 months is not enough time to reach out to the people. It takes time to get to the people and convey our ideology.
Okay,
so we just decided 3 months ahead of the polls to go to Goa.
Okay, perhaps Kakori Ghosh has thrown that challenge to you, Mr. Rajagopalan. You wait for the next Goa elections and they will form the government there. Kapil Madan.
So I will like to make one remark. There would be one person who would be very sad looking at the result, and that would be CM Modi of pre-2014, because the issues on which he fought 2014, price rise, diesel prices, dollar prices, unemployment, on all those fronts BJP has failed miserably, and while reaching 2022 they have changed their goalpost. All these issues are not relevant to them.
Madan, he
now,
won in one, but he won in that.
So now, in fact, I would just say it is the CM Modi of pre-2014 who would be very sad looking at these elections, because the issues that he used to propagate at that point in time, he is miserably failing, and he is failing constantly to deliver.
Maybe it's just the misfortune of the Indian voter that we are not able to understand the most profound messages that the Congress is getting to them, and they are going for the more shallow messaging.
Padmaja, 1 second. CM Modi had routed Congress Mukh Bharat. Apart from that, after 2019, Mr. Narendra Modi lost two valuable allies, Akali Dal and Shiv Sena. What happened to Akali Dal today? You see that. Tomorrow it will happen to Shiv Sena.
All right, we'll wait for that. For now, we've just set up a very interesting challenge for the Lok Sabha elections, at least for one seat of Kakori Ghosh Dasidar. We'll leave it at that. These are interesting times for all of us. Thank you very much, all gentlemen and Kakori Ghosh Dasidar, for having joined us, and congratulations, Amit Malviya, for your part.